12 of the NRL on the 9 Network. Andrew Voss, Peter Sterling, Paul Vorton and Steve Roach with you this afternoon. And the North Sydney Bears on the end of a 5-match losing streak going into today's match. And this is their lineup: McLean, Dallas, Wilson, Roy, Pepperbridge, the halves Butner and Taylor, and the forwards depleted by injury: Morrison, Rutchison, Moore, O'Mealy, Goddard and Crindle. The Sharks led out by one of their favourite sons, of course, Andrew Ettinghausen. Not so much injury that has affected their side, but state of origin selection. David Peachey on screen, one man they thought would be missing from today. Bobby Ross, of course, getting the New South Wales fullback position. And the Sharks lineup from the back: Peachey, Colin Best comes into the side, Ettinghausen, Richardson, Howland, Stanley and Healy, Graham, Eismunger, Ryan, Pearce, Treaster and Madison. So ready for a start, Stephen Clark, the referee. The competition leaders against the North Sydney Bears, who find themselves right at this point 3 points out of the top 8. And that is of great concern to them. And Rutchison, the first man to touch the ball short of the 20. And Taylor went into dummy half. Young Mark O'Mealy gets a chance in the starting side. Adam Muir, David Fairley, both withdrawing from this match. Fairley a broken finger. Adam Muir undergoing knee surgery in the past week. Of course, Ben Eichen on state of origin duty as well. Now Taylor thinking about kicking and then getting over the 30-metre line. This is McLean. Only a Sharks jumpers up there, and that is the last tackle. So there's still an opportunity to get in a kick from inside the 40, and that's what Taylor does. Well, David Peachey, they've had all sorts of chance pre-game. Peachey for origin. Getting his first chance with the ball and beyond the 20-metre line.
Very important, Andrew, for David Peachey not to try too hard this afternoon. He really doesn't have to prove anything after what we've seen in the opening couple of months. But I'm sure that he would like a big performance, just to say that the selectors, I think, have made the wrong decision.
Call appeared a little high on Pearce. O'Mealy was involved, so too Goddard.
Yeah, blood bin here, mate. Got a blood bin. Off you go.
Blood bin is the call. It's a clash of heads. More chin and head. I think O'Mealy's collected too. He's got Goddard and Pearce. Goddard's the player to the blood bin.
Mark Soden comes into the action in jersey number 16 for Goddard. First grade experience there as well, as the restart finds Tim Madison 32 out from his own line.
Hutchison was the man over the top. And now Eismunger with the players on origin duty. The pack has been affected for Cronulla. Jason Stevens in the Blues lineup. McKenna and Lang for Queensland. They come wide and Peachey with a juggle. And Peachey is away for the Sharks. It is the last tackle. And now the Sharks are 15 metres out and have lost the ball. It was the last tackle with Stanley.
Well, Peter said David Peachey didn't have to try too hard today. Well, he didn't have to there. It was just a simple play. Big gap opened up for him. Jason Taylor, the ankle tap, which slowed things down. The pass looked touch forward anyway. There's some good defence from behind by Scott Pepperbridge.
Morrison, the tackle from Madison looked a little awkward. Billy Moore almost overrunning the pass of Soden. A couple of the veterans in this Bears lineup. Some question mark on the future of Mark Soden. The papers reported yesterday. Now Trindle carries inside the Sharks half, but they've used up 5. And Butner, alternate kicker this time for the corner of Colin Best. It bounces touch in goal. There'll be a restart at the 20-metre line for the Sharks. The restart, it's worth noting too, the head-to-head of these two clubs. It is a dominant record for the Sharks, both here at Shark Park and in all matches. The Bears have only won here 5 times in 26 clashes, as Treaster takes off for 10 metres. Good rush from dummy half. I think it's Taylor who's hurt for the Bears. And Madison turns a quick ball inside to Peachey. Well, he's putting his stamp early. And Richardson now. Another player who was a little unlucky to miss origin selection. He was certainly a frontline contender. And Healy across, and Stanley on the leap almost was Sean Ryan to field that ball standing wide. The Bears are calling, or the training staff are calling for the match to be halted. Taylor is still down, back inside the Sharks half. The kicker's putting pressure on McLean. It goes over the sideline.
Well, we've still got concern on the far side for one of the North's players. I think it might be the centre. Is it Joel Wilson? He's been down for the last 3 or 4 tackles.
It's definitely Joel Wilson. You're right, Sterlo.
He's the man down low on it. Obviously, he's taken a knock to the back of the head. There's been in some strife since then.
Early in the match, plenty of easy metres for the Cronulla side.
3.5 minutes gone. Sunday football. We'll take a break. No score. The Sharks and the Bears. Welcome to our New Zealand viewers this afternoon. Mention the stats. The Bears 5 straight losses going into today. Already they're finding what other teams have found out this year, that with players like David Peachey, this Sharks side is quite an obstacle.
Just wait, boy, just wait. We'll wait till he gets off.
Back at Shark Park, Joel Wilson is making his way off the field. Wade Horder, his replacement, and North Sydney to work this scrum 15 metres out from their own line. That comes up with Nigel Roy. North Sydney last week, 34-18 loss it was to Canterbury. The Sharks, of course, last Friday week, Friday night football, very impressive, their win over St George Illawarra, 20 points to 12. And now Soden, chopped down on the 40-metre line by Trista. Taylor gets them going with Morrison and then Rutchison. Heading up to halfway, a more youthful look about the North Sydney pack today, with the inclusion of O'Mealy and Rutchison, and now Taylor's kick under a bit of pressure after the juggle. Stanley was up on him, and Peachey's got the crowd on his side. And Howland is the man who's tackled. 25 metres out from the Sharks line. Now it's Eismunger. Brewster back to the left, although the Bears inside the 10.
Sean Rutchison, about 3 metres in front.
Yeah, he was the man, all right, Sean Rutchison. He was a long way offside, totally oblivious to the referee. There you can see him up on the 40-metre line, and that does put him 2 to 3 metres in front.
They're just taking some time with his kick for line. Shark side, the record, just the 1 loss this year, and that was a narrow one to Penrith. And at the moment, they're joined by the Roosters, courtesy of the bye for Sydney City this weekend. But, of course, a win here will keep them alone at the top. They're 20 metres out from the Bears line, and Trista attacking the blind side. Rutchison is there in defence with Morrison. They come back to centre field. Healy serves it up on the inside for Pearce. A local junior, spent some time in Adelaide, returns this year to the Sutherland Shire. Now Stanley away for Richardson. Running a bit of an angle, and Taylor was around his legs. Roy over the top, they're 10 metres out. Peachey, infield it comes with Eismunger. And 3 in the tackle for the Bears, and it is 5 tackles up. Stanley is the man at first receiver. Peachey takes it on his own and serves up the pass to Trista. Peachey can do it all, no doubt about it. 6 minutes gone, and Trista just plunges over for the Sharks try.
Yeah, David Peachey doesn't have to be running 40 or 50 metres. Just have a look at this for nice ball play. He goes a blind. He attracts the outside defender. As we freeze it there, you can see that this player gets involved, and that allows the gap to open up. And as play continues, David Peachey just serves it up on a platter for Dean Trista. He dives over. Very, very simple, but well executed.
Well, it's all been too easy for Cronulla. The game's still in first gear for mine. North, no sting in their defence at all so far today. And even when they've got the football, not much doing for them. It's been all Cronulla. Peachey's been the star so far, and Trista, well, he's always around about the traps, around the rucks. He's a very busy player, and he deserves this try.
Easy to overread too, isn't it, with Cronulla? You almost expect them to kick on the last because they have so much success. So it's kind of a shock tactic from David Peachey to run from dummy half on the last tackle. And congratulations all round. And a good solid start once again from the Sharks, and that's what they've done in the first half of all of their matches this year. They've laid the foundation early, no mistakes, play good field position, and take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves.
Roosters' first try of 99, and now Mitch Healy taking over the kicking duties with Matt Rogers in the Queensland side. Rogers to date had 94 points for the season. Just on the try scorer, Dean Treaster. Born in Melbourne. In fact, he lived the first 13 years of his life in Melbourne and was a very handy Aussie rules player and played some junior rep footy for the Hawthorn Hawks. This year, Jack Gibson was one calling for selection at a higher level for Dean Treaster. So back with Healy, and 5 in from touch this one. 21 metres out. Mitch Healy's got this one on its way but wide. So they'll have to be content with 4-0 after the try by Treaster, Steve Roach.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of communication on the short side. If you have a look at this, O'Mealy, that was Peachy's man. Morrison came in to make the tackle. That caused the overlap. And Dean Treaster, an easy try for him.
The bench work, Porter and Soden returning to the bench. I think Fatty summed it up. Just no intensity about the Bears' defence. It's certainly not fearsome for the opening period of a first-grade match. You consider the desperate plight that Norths find themselves on the back of recent form. Ryan is the man who crashes back to the 20-metre line.
And the fact, Andrew, that really if Cronulla are to be vulnerable at all, it must be this afternoon. They've got players missing the State of Origin representation. No Jason Stevens, no Chris McKenna, Matt Rogers not there. So North must have come here thinking, well, if we can get away to a good start, we might cause an upset. Possession's not helping. All going towards the home side as Madison spins out of a tackle.
Shade sideways. There's one of the injured brigade for North Sydney, David Fairley, broken finger. Anticipated to be back for their next match. Last tackle now with the Sharks, and they're on the 40. Graham got into dummy half. And Healy gets his kick away. The chaser coming through was Taylor. This ball bounces up towards Brett Dallas, then away. So he's headed across field, Brett Dallas. There's 7 chasers there for the Sharks. He got through the first one and taken to ground. Glenn Morrison returns to the dressing room for the Bears, and here's a penalty going the way of North Sydney. Jamie Fitzgerald, another teenager in this Bears lineup. The man who's replaced Glenn Morrison.
That's a great kick from Jason Taylor. Picked up about 40 metres there with a trajectory kick. Here's Mark O'Mealy looking to capitalise. Takes it 22 out and offloads to Goddard.
And Goddard able to push it along then for Trindle. Back for Goddard. Nice exchange there for the Bears. The 2 front rowers getting the offloads, and they're now 12 metres out with Taylor to the left. Fitzgerald is there. He misses him out, and then Moore's pass is put down by Nigel Roy. They had to score.
Well, it's better play for North City, more positive, and Jimmy Goddard really stoked things up since he's come back on, heavily involved. It's a set play and a simple one, but very effective. That pass goes to hand. Either Roy or Petheridge would have scored. Mental block there, everyone. It's all right, no worries.
A little emotional. Ryan.
State of Origin time. Andrew is anticipation.
We all are. Nick Graham is the man tackled for Cronulla. The Sharks as they want to be known now. And a juggle there from Pearce. Like Pearce was told last year by 3 doctors to retire. All sorts of problems with his knee, recurring problems. Well, he's back out there now, and here's Madison.
The Bears up against the Sharks at Shark Park, buddy.
Gilly's kick. From 5 inside their own half. This is sending McLean on a chase across field. He waited to the last moment, then a stumble. And Eddinghausen accepts him along with Colin Best. Well, he was a pest. And Fitzgerald across with Wilson. He's back out there and cops the treatment from the Sharks defence. Madison and Pearce. So it's an onslaught, isn't it, against North Sydney early. Fitzgerald back to the 30. Up from Petherbridge for Moore. Unable to offload, but doesn't go to hand of Brett Dallas, so they're losing ground. And now Dallas tries to straighten up. Well, flying through was like a torpedo coming through Eismunger. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Yeah, Glenn Morrison has just jarred his shoulder. He's getting ready to come back out now. And if I could, just quickly, a little bit of information about Kieran Dempsey. He coached North Sydney Jersey Flegg for the last 2 years. Last year, they won the premiership, only losing 2 games all year. Before that, he coached Belrose A-grade.
Big step up for first grade in the NRL. And now Colin Best. Break through the tackle. 4-0 to the Sharks. And weight of possession with the home team as well as Peachy. Shrugged away from Nigel Roy, then tries to put the footwork on Petherbridge. Did well to trap him on the 30-metre line. Back in field with Luke Stewart. So many local juniors across this Sharks lineup. Wide ball here for Graham. A show on the inside to ET, and then for Richardson. Eddinghausen lurking there. It was called forward, the pass.
Yeah, I think they got this one right, just a touch forward, and Russell Richardson has been opened up. In fact, I think it's Russell Richardson. Slides through there. I think he just copped the butt or the hip of Richardson. So a couple of blood bins. Opening 10 minutes of this game.
Richardson the man off, and Paul Mellor is out there making his top grade debut for the Sharks. And here's Butner for the Bears, 40 metres out from the Sharks line. Just building up a little better now, the North Sydney side, and now Nigel Roy, centre field. Goddard up for Trindle. Again, he goes 25 metres out. Around his legs was Luke Stewart, with Taylor deciding to take on the line. Then picks up Billy Moore. Well, they all bounced away there. One of the Sharks has been left out of it. Taylor hit the deck. It was Eismunger who ended up on his back. And he looks a little groggy getting back to the line. They're 10 out on the last. Goddard with Taylor. Taylor decides the grubber. It ricocheted off the legs of Eismunger. Well, he recovered remarkably well. And then has collected the knees of Richardson. But it's a good effort from young Eismunger.
Yeah, I think Jason Taylor changed his mind there. He got a late ball and decided not to put it to the wings and put the grubber in. That was well done by Eismunger.
Sharks with Stewart. The bench getting plenty of work for both teams here as Pearce pops this one out the back for Treaster. They are attacking from inside their 20, and there's the Peachy step. Flick out the back for Eddinghausen. Sign of confidence. Richardson getting through a heap of work here for the North Sydney Bears. Peachy is up in action again. He's taken out after kicking through. It's play on for the Sharks. McLean's in a little bit of trouble. He covers up. But now the penalty for the home team.
Took him out. Playing advantage. See what I got? Got nothing.
Yeah, referee Stephen Clark saying they took out David Peachy. Isn't he highly involved today? I don't know. It's simultaneous for mine. He was committed to the tackle, the North Sydney player.
Yeah, that was definitely play on. Did a good job, Willie McLean, at the back for North Sydney. When the whistle had gone, he cleaned up well. There were plenty of Cronulla chasers coming through on the little kick from David Peachy. But the pressure is maintained now with Healy finding touch. Pretty good kick as well, 29 out.
Mentioned Richardson there in the run of play. 11 tackles so far. Good performance. And now Luke Stewart. 20 metres out. There's a high tackle here.
That's all it was. It was a slap across the face. He could have been told that in running, just keep it down. I don't understand why that's a penalty, really.
That's Paul Stringer.
That's just clumsy. I don't see it as being a penalty myself.
He's still down, Luke Stewart. Maybe in running through, he might have collected accidentally, of course, the finger of Stringer in the eye. And now he's headed to the bench too, Luke Stewart. And Healy is elected to go for goal. And this kick is 18 metres in from touch. I think he's the goal kicking is not a wanted task with Mitch Healy, but he's there out of necessity today. He has kicked plenty of times in the past. I don't think it's a love affair he has with goal kicking, and Healy's kick is off the upright. Still a chance here for the Sharks then. Pearce flew high, and it comes down with Richardson. There have been tries in the past off uprights from kicks. Jason Sinclair for the Roosters was the last player to do it a couple of seasons ago. It cannoned off the upright this one. Ray Price would have loved it.
I reckon I played with Price for 10 years when he did the praying mantis looking at the post, and not once did it come off the post in a decade.
That's right, it would have had to have dropped right to him. As Trindle hits it up. Good counter from the Bears on the back of a penalty. Positioned well. And Stringer, a Central Coast junior, 25 out from the Sharks line. Goddard. They look to up the tempo with Fitzgerald. And he carries inside the Sharks 20 now. And Goddard with Taylor. He has Butner on his outside and then gets the pass out for Hutchison. They're looking lively at least with the ball in their hands, and now Goddard takes off, headed towards the Sharks' posts.
Dean Treaster.
Clark has penalised Dean Treaster.
And you would assume that Jason Taylor would opt to kick the goal here, as he's done. But there must have been some thought in the back of his mind as well that they had some momentum and maybe go for the try.
They look pretty good with the football, don't they, today? North Sydney, despite the fact they're behind on the scoreboard. I mean, Trindle up front's doing his job. O'Mealy's been strong. Morrison's been involved. They're playing okay, despite having lost Adam Muir and David Fairley this morning.
Yeah, I think the spark is not necessarily coming from Jason Taylor at the moment, but you pointed out earlier, Goddard. He's been very good in the middle of the ruck, very busy. Some second phase play.
So Taylor's kick basically in toss-over range for him. 10 out. First points on the board then for North Sydney. 4-2 the scoreline here in Sunday football at Shark Park. And Moore, who will be an observer this week of State of Origin, along with a number of veterans out there. Andrew Eddinghausen has retired from rep footy. A record number of appearances for the Blues. He'll be part of the 9 coverage on Wednesday night. Two points the margin then in this round 12 clash between the competition leaders and the North Sydney Bears. And this bloke is going extremely well. Hutchison for North Sydney. Pulls his way back over the 20-metre line. He played the ball though. Not gone. He had to get back with a heel, and now Goddard comes up for Stringer. 2 and 3 defenders every time. Stringer offloads for Goddard. I think there's some promising signs out there for the Bears, having conceded that early try. And now McLean. He held on the ball a little too long, and then Morrison is cut down in the tackle of Treaster. Very quick play the ball, fielded by Stringer. He had no intentions of going to dummy half, but he ended up there. Now Trindle. And last tackle, 5 inside Sharks territory. Back with Taylor. Who do you kick to at the back for Cronulla? There's a few speedsters there, and Taylor's kick is too deep. Sharks will come back to the 20. I reckon this number 2, Colin Best, had a chat with Brett Howland last Friday night after our game there where he scored 2 tries. I asked him who's the quickest bloke in the club, yourself or Matt Rogers, Russell Richardson. He said Colin Best is. Look forward to seeing him get some open pasture today. And here's Nick Graham. Another little flyer in Preston Campbell waiting to come on for the Sharks. Luke Stewart is back out there. It is inside their own half with Hippie, then with Peachy. Roy had him lined up and Peachy has coughed it up. Roy was keen to get up in his face that time. Now the Bears will get a scrum feed inside the Sharks 40.
They are starting to get some good field position, North Sydney. Warming to their task. It was a poor start to the game, but they're getting into the match. And a very important afternoon as we see this good tackle front on from Nigel Roy for the likes of Paul Stringer, Mark O'Mealy, Sean Hutchison. For so long, the foundation of the North Sydney pack has been the likes of Larson, Moore and Fairley. That's changing. These guys have got to stand up. As Wilson inside of Dallas, he's got some room.
Dallas inside the 20-metre zone, and Peachy gets across in cover with Blaine Stanley. They're 15 metres out, and Taylor. They keep the push on, now with Morrison. Sharks have regrouped. Wayne Forrester is there in defence. Goddard a dummy half, up for O'Mealy. He's had a breather, he's back with full steam. Fielded by Goddard, the loose ball, then Fitzgerald. Props off the right foot, good tackle from Madison. 10 out, Goddard attacking the short side. We'll link up here with Dallas. Dallas just a couple of metres out from the line. Mellor is across there for the Sharks. Very, very close, Brett Dallas. A kick from dummy half from Goddard, chased back by Peachy. We'll get a line drop out of it, the North Sydney Bears.
Well, he's showing all his skills, isn't he, Jimmy Goddard? State of Origin player last year. He played in the 3rd State of Origin match and helped Queensland to win the series. And today here at Shark Park for North Sydney, he's involved in everything. A nice little kick and a repeat set for the Bears.
Replay, it was almost by accident that Brett Dallas reached the try line. He was being pushed back, but it was back towards the Sharks line. So this North Sydney side's definitely with a run of play right now. They're 2 behind. And Petherbridge up with Billy Moore, stepping off the left foot. And away from Blaine Stanley. Goddard. O'Mealy only recently turned 18. He got through the first line. He got past Madison, it was. Goddard at dummy half. Across with Taylor. Again, there's a choice of runners. Buettner. Then offloading for Wilson. Now for Dallas. Dallas should score for the Bears. He gets there. Brett Dallas gets the Bears' first try. And it's come on the back of some sustained pressure.
It's been a good couple of minutes for the North Sydney team. Got the ball back from the line drop out. And then a second man play sees Michael Buettner get outside his man and draw one of the outside players for Cronulla. That gave the overlap, although it was the try scorer having to come back inside, but there was plenty of space out there created by this second man pass to Michael Buettner.
They do run some good angles on their decoys, North Sydney, and Michael Buettner then ran just the perfect angle to get outside his opposite defender, Glenn Morrison, the man who drew a couple of players in there. And BD, little Brett Dallas, little carrot top out wide, prolific try scorer.
You can see the second man play there. It meant that Paul Mellor was brought into action earlier in defence than he wanted to be. Brett Dallas, he's just picked up a knock as he's gone over to score that try. He's had so many injury problems over the last couple of seasons. I'm sure we're still to see the best of this flyer.
Oh, Fatty got a bit out of him though. Down at the MCG.
Well, it wasn't that long ago we were saying he was the best winger in the world. And I still think the potential there is there to be making the same kind of statements in a couple of years to come.
Taylor, by his own admission, hasn't been all that wrapped in his kicking form of late. This one is 5 in from touch. Still working just as hard every week. Practicing. Unsuccessful from wide out, Jason Taylor. 1 from 2 for the afternoon. 6-4 the Bears over the Sharks. 15 minutes remaining in this first half. The 25-minute mark. Competition leaders find themselves behind. An early try to Dean Treaster, but the Bears have fought back well. Bit of possession suddenly going their way. Rewarded with a try to Brett Dallas. Now in front by 2. And Joel Wilson is with it. Oh, gee, we had a few players in the blood bin today. Here's O'Mealy, risky ball and fielded by the Sharks. Now they've lost it. Well, I'm sure no advantage played there for the Sharks.
No, I'm not.
Well, in fact, he has called the knock-on against the Sharks.
And a knock-on by Cronulla and trying to get to it.
It was a risky pass, wasn't it? I mean, you're only 22 metres out from your own line, and no one in there is in a better position than you to take the ball and go forward. It's just he was tossing them up there, just anywhere. And it nearly cost them, but they've got the ball back from the scrum, the Bears.
Good call by referee Clark. Let's take a comment from Blocker.
I know that one was a risky pass, but let's not take away his skill there, Mark O'Mealy. I'd like to see him offload the football rather than just like most forwards today, just run the football up 10 metres, take the tackle.
Yeah, another mistake here. Billy Moore pops the ball out. So now we're seeing North Sydney guilty of what Cronulla have been down their end of the field. It's a simple tackle over the top from Nick Graham, forced the ball. Very important now that the Bears, after putting on the first try, keep their defence intact soon after.
And Peachy is threatening. He's with it. 35 metres out. Peachy decides to run. McLean got him. Only just. Richardson scoops up for Graham. Back inside they go with Eismunger. 15 metres out and ridden to ground there by Buettner and also Moore. Roy was up in defence as well. Healy skips out Madison with a pass. Fielded on the bounce by Stanley. Stanley is 15 metres out. Morrison hangs on then for Howland. Scrambling work. Full width of the field used by the Sharks. Healy. Infield they come with Stewart. He's 10 metres out. Devil of a time to get him to ground 2.
Trouble to the left if they go there.
Campbell, they have gone to the left. Healy, high ball there for Howland. Howland for the corner, forced back infield and over the sideline.
Well, they did very well there, the Bears, because they were shot on that side, and David Peachy sprinted 20 metres to make sure the ball went that way. There you can see him taking off behind the ruck. He doesn't get the football. But the cutout pass to Howland, it probably allowed North Sydney to slide in defence to make the try-saving tackle with Morrison and Dallas arriving.
Scored 2 tries last week, Brett Howland. He's with a 10 out from their own line. 5 straight they've lost. Billy Moore manhandled there in defence by Nick Graham. Possession is evened up, in fact, gone in favour of the Bears now, which certainly wasn't the case in the first 10-15 minutes of this one. Here is Stringer, making some good metres. Around his legs was Pearce. Goddard up for Taylor, kicking from inside the 40, and Peachy was up close to the defensive line. This is a big chase back for David Peachy. All the way back to his own goal line. Nonchalant in the pickup. And 10 metres out from his line. Linking up here with Best. Petherbridge there in defence for North Sydney. Back with Sean Ryan. Good sign. That was a long chase back for some of these Sharks forwards, and Ryan was back there to take the first hit up. It was a 60-metre kick from Jason Taylor. Petherbridge again finds himself in the front line of defence for the Bears. That time it was on Eismunger. And this is Andrew Pearce. And they've muscled up here, North Sydney. Now Treaster away from dummy half, and he's wrapped up by Morrison. 5 tackles up. They're only just outside the 30. Healy gets a kick in. It's not his best. Crowd suggesting that Norths were inside the 10. And McLean from inside his 20. On a poor bounce. North Sydney start their set of 6. Across with Fitzgerald and linking up with Wilson. He's headed back infield. And Goddard and young O'Mealy. He proved a handful to get down. Goddard steering the ship from dummy half for Stringer. Rushed through the Graham tackle. Well, they do appear to be missing a few more tackles this week, the Sharks. They've missed 10 in total so far. This ball has found Michael Butner. 30 metres out and back for Dallas. He's off again, the carrot top, as Fatty would say. And Taylor at dummy half. 15 metres out. Last tackle for the Bears, back for Stringer. They're lined up on the left. They're very flat with Fitzgerald. He stands. Still the last tackle. Goddard gets a kick in. And it bounces back for Peachy. And there's a little bit of open space there for David. And taken down by Dallas.
Well, some ordinary play on the last tackle there, but before that it was good stuff from North Sydney against Cronulla. Plenty of passing, little short passes. Michael Butner. The more he gets involved, the better the Bears will go.
Determined charge. Plenty of vigour from Luke Stewart. He made 15 metres. And they'll just keep following up. They're in a queue now, the Sharks. It was one who got them within 5 metres of halfway. And now Treaster up for Pearce. Starting to go across field, but it was able to offload. This is Healy. Healy puts the foot down. 35 metres out. It was top speed for Mitch Healy. Ettinghausen's kick. Well, we'll get to see best speed here, and Petherbridge is back. He thought about batting it dead over the dead ball line and now takes the tackle of E.T. and Best. Line drop out for the Bears. Good set of 6 from the Sharks.
It was a very well placed kick there from Andrew Ettinghausen. But Petherbridge just didn't want to take the risk of allowing the ball to go over the dead ball line in case one of the chasers from behind caught him out. Fitzgerald did very well there. He realised Stringer didn't have enough pace on the inside to come up with the tackle on Healy. And then on the last delicate little lob in, going towards the dead ball line, Petherbridge forced to give away the restart under the posts.
Dallas going to the sideline for North Sydney at the moment while they prepare for this line dropout. Unusual change if he's uninjured. He's taking up plenty of time here. Mitch Healy on that replay, when he saw the gap, he found top gear quickly. Thought, here's a chance. I can steal some of the limelight away from the likes of Peachy and Richardson. And now the Sharks come back with Miller. Been a disrupted journey for him since he made a first-grade debut at just 16 with South Sydney. And now Eismunger, 22 metres out from the Bears line. Pendulum just starting to turn back the way of the Sharks now. And it comes wide with Stanley. Ball there for Richardson. The right arm free too. They're 15 metres out. And Howland infield for Stanley, then Madison. He changes course a couple of times before he gets to the Bears' defence. Trindle was there in defence. And Stanley on for Healy. A show of the ball and then delivers for Pearce. Back for Healy. Flick pass for Peachy. Then it comes for Best. 10 metres out and away from one. Best tries his step. McLean had stumbled in defence and he was able to get back to his feet. Now Peachy, last tackle. Gets the kick in. That one is a little too strong from David Peachy. Exciting play, though, from the Sharks.
Starting to come alive, the game, isn't it? Both teams starting to settle down now. Once again, it was David Peachy. He's in the thick of everything. Thought he was going to get away here. Decided to pass it. There's North's players slipping over all over the place. They did well to hang on, the Bears.
And back with Mark Soden. 30 years of age, the oldest player in this Bears lineup today. Now Trindle. Carried over halfway. Soden again for Taylor. They are having trouble with their footing, the Bears. This one is deep from Taylor. In fact, the bounce might be a little too big. Peachy goes back and puts, well, he almost let the ball come to a standstill. And in fact, that's the referee's call. Well, I thought watching live, the ball may have still been in motion.
If the ball's rolling, it's different, but the ball had stopped. It's a line drop out.
Well, that is the rule, but I just wonder whether that was the case. Had the ball stopped.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. And, well, yeah, had stopped. Wasn't going further.
Rolling, it's fine. But the ball had clearly stopped, so you made it dead. If the ball was rolling, they make it dead if you're over the line. Doesn't matter. The ball had stopped. The ball had stopped.
Clark has called it. Howie has seen it. And the Sharks find themselves with a line dropout. And Healy's kicked back to the 40, trapped by Butner. And it comes up for Morrison. And the number of Bears players that has been on the injured list at some point in this season. Is Wade Horder tackled 30 metres out from the Sharks line. They lead by 6 points to 4, the Bears, in Sunday football. And Soden is with it for Trindle. And able to offload for Rutchison. He dropped the right shoulder as he got to the defence. Rutchison stats 12 tackles and 5 hit-ups. And now Soden to the right, and a switch of play from Taylor. There is Billy Moore. Then on the inside, he found Stringer, offloaded there for Soden. One more pass to the right, and they may have been on their way. Newton a dummy half, 5 metres out, runs up to the line. Taylor, good hands for Morrison. Morrison is in goal and scores for the Bears. Glenn Morrison has found his way over, and the Bears extend their lead to 6.
And we go back to that decision by the referee to call for a line dropout. This happened at the end of the next set of 6. Lovely hands there from Jason Taylor and a good show of strength from Morrison. 3 defenders around him, but he's able to carry Russell Richardson over. And a very important try just before half-time. Again, well constructed. Nice hands from the halfback. Good strength from the back rower.
Yeah, nice quick dart, wasn't it, from Michael Butner, which caught Cronulla a bit napping. And Glenn Morrison, he's another player he's really stood up today without the likes of Muir and Fairley there. And since coming to Balmain, you'd probably say he's been a little disappointing, but today's probably been one of his finest.
Well, the numbers appeared to be there for the Sharks to stop Morrison scoring.
I think as Paul pointed out, Andrew, the run from Michael Butner was that quick out of dummy half. They got close to the line. That's where they probably proved unstoppable, as Taylor Hill have learnt from his first kick.
12 in from touch, Jason Taylor. Flags are up. And the Bears, this is good stuff for North Sydney. It's been a while, 12 points to 4. 5 remaining in the first half. Steve Roach, your call on this one.
Well, it's a tough one, isn't it? I think the ball was stopped. I reckon the referees made the right one, but Michael Butner, he's got to get into dummy half a lot quicker. He's very quick out of there. Look at the strength here from Morrison. He is a big, strong fella, and he showed it there to score the try for the Bears.
There were 3 Cronulla defenders around the try scorer, but only one of them, Richardson, was sort of trying to stop him. The other 2 actually dropped off the tackle.
So the Bears, are they back? The side without a home. Mark Soden from dummy half. The 30-metre line. Taylor coming up with Trindle.
The Bears are going to be penalised at some stage during this game for play the ball infringement in actually playing the football. Been some very, very dusty ones as Mark Soden finds touch, and that's a good result with under 5 to go.
You're right there, Peter. I mean, some of them don't even get put to ball. They just roll it or step over it or drop it or something, and then you're right. Stephen Clark's got to have a good, quick look at this.
That was one from Mark Soden. Reminder too on the Wide Water Sports. Massive evening of cricket coming up from 7:30. Australia versus Pakistan. 60 minutes will start at 6:30 tonight. The Aussies against Pakistan from Headingley. Our host from the studio, Simon O'Donnell and Mark Taylor. The Sharks are with it short of the 40-metre line. Big week for sport right here on Channel 9. And now with Wade Forrester offloading, but there doesn't seem to be too much urgency there. And now Howland is knocked on. No one was willing to get to the pass from Forrester.
Yeah, just play breaking down there, as it's done on a couple of occasions for the Sharks. And Steve Roach, I've got to say that Stringer and O'Mealy this afternoon have lost nothing against their opposition, who are more experienced.
Yeah, they've always had plenty of ability, haven't they? They've been on the fringe of playing first grade for North Sydney, and I suppose it's a change in the guard, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. Those guys could be there for a long time.
And this is Petherbridge as he fairly copped one a little high, but as I say, he was falling, Petherbridge. He's in a bit of bother right now. There's Mellor, the tackler. They're 20 metres out from the Sharks' line. Soden scooping that ball up and on the inside for Stringer. Stringer's lost the ball. It comes back for Soden.
First, no, it came forward and touched the Cronulla jumper, which means a knock on. Then the second go, you knocked it back.
Pretty concise with his ruling, Stephen Clark.
Yes, the commentator's curse. I actually think that the ball did go back. The referee saying he knocked it forward and it hit a Cronulla jersey. I think he'd gone to flick the pass back.
Steady, steady.
A minute and a half, I don't think it's going to make too much difference. The first 40 minutes. Best gets involved from his right wing.
Just outside the 20. As if the crowd here is waiting for one man, David Peachey, to spark them again. And now Priester up with Ryan. Just over the 40-metre line. He had a taste of state football a couple of seasons ago in the Super League season. Very competent Sean Ryan. And Madison now tackled 5 short of halfway. Slow play the ball from Madison. And it comes across with Healy. And along the line with Stanley, kicking before the last, and Best is on the chase, needs a bounce. Now it comes up for Best and Petherbridge. Oh, he does so well, Scott Petherbridge, to ride Best over the sideline.
That's a great chase there from Scotty Petherbridge, because it looked like danger, didn't it? Once that kick went over, there's no one at home, and Best had to slow down to get to it, and then Petherbridge jumped out of the ground and snaffled him. Good driving tackle.
One of the tackle stats most impressive this afternoon for the Bears. Trindle's right up there with Rutchison and Moore. And that brings us to an end of the first 40 minutes. And North Sydney leading the competition, front runners here. 3 tries in the first half, 2-1 to the Bears. Ready then for the second half here at Shark Park, this round 12 clash. And a statistic of interest, the first time the Sharks have been behind at half-time in 12 rounds of football. So let's see what they have coming from behind the competition leaders. We'll Roach with a half-time report shortly as Priester. Their try scorer from the first half, and they've coughed it up straight away, Nick Graham. Oh, my gee, Clark said knocked back. Only the aid of the fact that they're not playing away from home, you would have had the crowd screaming from the stands. Nick Graham dropped it into his lap. Travelled forward from the first time he touched the football for mine. Anyway, last tackle with the Sharks and Priester. Away for Healy, kicking from 15 metres inside his own half. Can he get a 40-20 out of this, Mitch Healy? He won't, it straightens up. And Petherbridge is back there for the North Sydney side, now with McLean. And Graham was the first chaser down. Steve Roach on the sideline. The news from half-time.
Yeah, I've got Cronulla and Origin prop Jason Stevens with me. What did Johnny Lang have to say at half-time? I suppose he would have had mixed feelings.
Yeah, he was happy with the start of the game, they go forward, but just seemed to slacken off, and our defence was quite soft, he said. He said we really need to muscle up because the North forwards are getting on top. Also, he noticed just too many offloads in the wrong area of the paddock, so we need to really clamp down.
Yeah, I suppose the big thing is how you can come from behind. You haven't been in this situation much this season.
No, I think every game we've come in half-time ahead and head by well, so it's going to be a challenge, but, you know, he's going to call on the younger bloke, Sammy Eismunger, who's going real well, and Luke Stewart, you know, and plus the other experienced blokes. Really needs Tim Madison to lift the level, which he can do.
Yeah, and very important you keep the roll on. You've been playing some good football this season, but very important you win these games during the Origin.
Yeah, that's right, because it'll be a shame, you know, we've got off to such a good start. Fortunate though, in respect, we've got 20 points up, so there's a little bit of leeway, but yeah, we want to win every game.
Jason, I know you do well. Good luck in the Origin on Wednesday night. I hope you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Thanks, Bob.
I'll just do North Sydney. Peter Louis and Kieran Dempsey both spoke at half-time. He said, be positive. We're creating plenty of opportunities. We've got to match the Sharks' enthusiasm. They're well below strength. He said, let's really dig deep, roll our sleeves up. They are there for the taking. He said, don't drop back too early in defence, because if you do, offer Cronulla a little bit of space, they will take it.
Thanks, Steve. And as Blocker was talking to Jason Stevens, you saw the play unfold. The Sharks receiving a penalty, and now deep inside Bears territory, they go on the attack. Not unlike the way the first half started, and Pearce is wrapped over the top. Rutchison and O'Mealy the tacklers. Treaster at dummy half. Lineside with Graham. Then it comes up for Ryan. That pass is called forward. It breaks down on tackle 2 for the Sharks.
Well, it's not the well-oiled machine that we've come to watch this year for the Sharks. Nick Graham offloading on the outside to his back row partner in Sean Ryan. The referee was in great position. And they're the kind of little mistakes that haven't been appearing in the Cronulla performances this year, and that's the reason that they've lost just one in the opening couple of months. Taylor feeds, wins the scrum, fullback McLean gets involved.
So the Bears coming away from their own 20 with Nigel Roy. 3.5 gone in the second half. We heard from Jason Stevens. There's more offloads for Goddard and quick hands there for Roy. Our best wishes with all 34 players involved on Wednesday night. We'll have all the action from Suncorp Stadium. Our coverage will kick off at 7 o'clock. An hour preview. A host of stars involved in that. Fatty Sterlo, Blocker, Wally Lewis, E.T., Trevor Gilmester. And the match kicking off at 8 o'clock as the Bears concede a penalty.
He had ample opportunity to get up.
There's the play the ball penalty. Referee claiming that O'Mealy didn't get to his feet, despite the fact there might have been some attention from a Cronulla player. I think the referee's got it right. And we see here an option taken with the concerned John Lang looking on to try and put the team to within a converted try. So Mitch Healy, 35 out, looking to add 2 to the total.
Told that some rain is on its way here too to Shark Park. To the northeast. Some grey skies there. No rain as yet here at Shark Park, but an interesting decision from the home team to go for goal. Healy 35 out. Imperative, I guess, that if he is unsuccessful, he has to get a dropout on return. So away with Mitch Healy again. The halfback for the Sharks. The kicker replacing Matt Rogers, and Healy's kick has gone wide but has gone dead. So 12-4 the scoreline, 5 gone in the second half. And the 20-metre dropout from North Sydney is deep. It's over the head of David Peachey. And back will come with Colin Best. But really to see a sign of his speed, which we're told is as anyone in the club. And now Luke Stewart. One of the players Jason Stevens mentioned, a young bloke that has to lift. He's got his chance, and now Sean Ryan. Charging into the Bears' defence and offloads for Treaster. Second phase play then with Graham. Coming across field, Wilson come in from the centres. Rutchison was low on the tackle. Now Healy, and with it is Stanley. Up it comes for Richardson. Inside the 20-metre line, then back to Healy. Beautifully constructed try for the Cronulla Sharks. Richardson sliced through, and Healy charges over.
And the game of rugby league is about split decisions. And I think there's a poor one in defence here from Michael Butner. Nice work from Cronulla with all the possession early in this second half. So we freeze it there. You can see Butner has come in and allowed his man on the outside. He should have had more confidence in the North Sydney player on his inside as play continues. And the gap opened up for Russell Richardson. Nearly lost his footing. He was able to keep that and position his half-back beautifully back on the inside.
Well, he had the big prop Steve Trindle inside him. Maybe that's why he didn't have a great deal of confidence out wide, but he was pointing, saying, Trindle, you take so-and-so, take Stanley, I've got Richardson. And in the end, he just went in, left the gap there. And some good backup from Healy, who started it all.
They're well constructed here. Again, Mitch Healy throws the bullet-like pass. Lovely little pass also from Stanley. And Russell Richardson, for a big man, he's got an excellent acceleration. Brett Dallas coming across in vain to try and stop this one. And goal kicking is a little bit of a problem this afternoon for the Cronulla team. Mitch Healy, as Andrew pointed out, I don't think it's a job that he particularly enjoys. But one that comes his way too often, only when Matt Rogers isn't in the team.
And you think if Matt Rogers was there, they'd actually be leading the match 14-12 now. The 3 attempts that Healy has missed, Rogers could have kicked blindfolded.
0-3, Mitch Healy. Looking to convert his own try. 20 metres out and 15 in from touch. Bring the Sharks closer by 2. Healy has found the upright for the second time today. Every post a winner. Not on this occasion. 12 points to 8. We'll take a break. Early try to start both halves for the Sharks. .48 minutes gone in Sunday football. And the Sharks are down by 4. Deep kick-off. Trapped in goal. And the second half certainly starting as the first half did, with the Sharks getting the first 4-pointer. It was Treaster in the first half, Healy in the second. Howland, they're attacking from inside their 20. Howland just shrugged away from 2. Wilson and Trindle, he left them behind. A little embarrassed. And with Treaster. It comes up for Stewart. A lot of venom now in the Sharks running. Treaster from dummy half, stumbled into the Morrison tackle. Peachy to the left with Graham. Again, the crowd not happy with the 10 metres of the Bears in defence. Last tackle. Clark has got them back, 11 or 12 it must be said. Here's Healy's kick. It's over the head of Willie McLean. Played international football in '97, this fullback for the rest of the world side against the Australians in Brisbane. Petherbridge for Roy. He was low in the tackle and Roy has lost it after the tackle was completed. Sharks scrum feed 15 metres out.
You just can't afford to make these mistakes in your own danger area. And no excuse for that one, unfortunately, for Nigel Roy. But Norths haven't had any football this second half. It's been all Cronulla, and a great opportunity for the Sharks to put more points on the board.
We'll come to the open side. Stanley is waiting. Healy runs. Mitch Healy again was looking for that top gear. 8 metres out. Cover defence was there. Morrison and Peachy comes to a complete stop and heads back towards the posts. Wrapped up by Richardson. Treaster dummy half. Across to Pearce. With a Goddard tackle. Just slows the play up. 2 in there. Morrison completed. And then Stanley. A dummy to Eddinghausen. Stanley's away from 1. Now it gets to E.T. E.T. straightens up. And does he get there? Gets in goal, then forced back. He's perched on 149 tries for the Sharks. Andrew Eddinghausen. And Treaster. Power play. They go charging over. Pearce it is. Andrew Pearce, the softest try you'll see. And we're all square at 12 all.
Well, we have had 10 minutes of this second half, and Cronulla have had the football for 10 minutes, so it's no great surprise that the pressure pays more dividends. Very, very simple. Pretty poor defence there. You can see Billy Moore was, he was obscured from the runner coming through, but it all looked too simple at this level, and we'll have a new leader after 50 minutes.
Yeah, the mistake from Roy, it's cost them 4, possibly 6. Andrew Pearce, the big prop. It's good to see the big fellas get rewarded with a try every now and then. They don't score that many, the big fellas, but a nice little pass there from Treaster. And a new goal kicker by the looks of it. Stanley taking over, Blaine Stanley.
The young bloke blocker and I first come across in schoolboy football a few seasons back, playing for for Wellington High. Now in first grade with the Sharks. And Mitch Healy has sacked himself, one would think. If you are going to change kickers, if you're going to be the replacement kicker, I don't think you mind them being 10 metres out and about 3 or 4 metres off centre.
Nah, Vossi, you change when it's on the sideline.
At 12 all. The Sharks have scored 3 tries to 2. And to regain the lead, which they held for the first 15 minutes of this match. Stanley's kick, a stab and successful. Plenty of Sharks flags around Shark Park. They're all up, 14-12. The Sharks over the Bears. Blocker.
Well, it's a sign of a good coach who can motivate his team in the second half when they're behind on the scoreboard. Johnny Lang's done exactly that. They've come out and lifted in the second half, and that's an easy try to Pearce. Well rehearsed, good play there. Just gets down underneath Billy Moore, and doesn't he enjoy it?
The 10-minute break for the Bears has been tragic. They're on top going into half-time, and here comes Sean Ryan. They've sprouted wings, some of these Sharks forwards in the second half. Now Madison tries to bump his way through. Well, he went low on the tackle. Trista. And up they come with their try scorer, Pearce. To the 30-metre line. Still no rain, but it is threatening. Slow to clear. It was Michael Butner and Stringer as Trista takes off for another 10 metres. He's been busy as always today, Dean Trista, the number 9 for the Sharks. Last tackle here with Peachy. They attack to the left and then I'd call it a woeful kick, but it might come off great. It comes back for Eismunger from Graham, then for Stanley, then for Healy. Healy passes from Peachy. A tie from a kick, which I'll stand by, it was woeful. But Peachy has scored the try. It's their 4th of the afternoon. And now he's going to check with a video referee, and I think he wants to check, did he get it down before the dead ball line?
Offside, take it there with Nick Graham. And then I want to check David Peachy in relation to the dead ball line here. There's 2 things.
Well, this is the second that the referee's talking about. David Peachy, the try scorer, or alleged try scorer, that's fine. I think he gets the ball down just before the elbow touches. But the other concern is Nick Graham on the inside of the kicker being onside. It comes across. Nick Graham is definitely in front of the kicker. He's the man just about on the halfway line.
Was it played at by a North Sydney hand, Peter?
Well, that's the thing, and I don't think that Nick Graham came inside the 10 metres before that. But the video adjudication says that Nick Graham was offside, and that's why the try has been taken away.
Well, it's a shame. Would have been one of the great tries of the season, the way that they just went through there, and plenty of support play, no Bears defence. And it's a penalty now, being inside that 10 metres from the kick. So North's a let-off for the Bears.
Full marks, Fatty. I just saw Nick Graham when Stephen Clark passed on the ruling. He just accepted it, a nod of the head. Surprised the video referee didn't go perhaps to a second replay. There did look to be some sort of deflection on the kick.
And full marks to referee Stephen Clark for calling for the replay.
He's had a good game this afternoon for the first 53 minutes, Steve Clark. Again, he's got all the important calls right.
The ball here, he appears to have the respect of the players. He certainly explained himself well today. If the players have disputed a decision, he's been very clear with his rulings. The Bears are let off, a real let off. Trindle, it would have been 3 straight tries since half-time for the Sharks. Instead, the Bears on the attack 30 metres out. And Stringer it is, who will swerve on his work, came in from the left and then offloading for Butner. 25 metres out, Butner goes low and then passes for Wilson. 15 metres out. Dallas a dummy half. Infield with Morrison first receiver. Then for Trindle. The Bears down by 2 in Sunday football. This is their best chance of the second half, though. Taylor up for Morrison. Morrison over the top. Trindle can't get to the loose ball. And the Sharks are back with it. And he's threatened, but couldn't get across the line. And Nick Graham. 15 gone since the break, and Madison, the Sharks, he was up the top of the stats at half-time. Double figures with the hit-ups and tackles. Sharks have had plenty of balls since half-time. Pearce now with it. Offloading, intercept there for Goddard. Loose ball from Goddard and fielded by Billy Moore. And back it swings the way of North Sydney now. On the Sharks 20, Taylor away with Buettner. Suddenly the speed comes on and there's Wilson! Wilson's away and steps Peachy. Wilson has forced it and North Sydney are over. Joel Wilson, smart work from the Bears centre.
And the crowd are stunned at Shark Park against the run of play in the second half, and it came from Pearce, the try scorer not so long ago, giving away possession by throwing an intercept to Jamie Goddard. Wasn't really an intercept, he had to catch it, was thrown straight to him. And a bad mistake. Michael Buettner, he's got great speed, goes across field, and just a change of direction, it fooled Nick Graham. He was on the wrong leg, and Joel Wilson, he beat 3 defenders to score the try. We have a new leader again.
Yeah, what a nice try by Wilson. He had plenty to do here. First of all, he beat Nick Graham. Then I think it was Wade Forrester coming. He fended him off. That's a good fend. Changed the ball to his other hand and then had to step inside David Peachy, who was coming across at pace, and then took Treaster over. A magnificent effort.
While all that was happening, Fatty, we had some drama out on the field. Joel Wilson, try number 6 for the year. Mason Taylor, while all that was happening, was going to line up for the kick, and Stephen Clark sent him to the blood bin. So he raced off, got cleaned up, raced back on before Michael Buettner. Well, Michael Buettner formed the mound, and Taylor's going to take the kick. Just above the left eyebrow, as you can see. And this kick 15 metres out, 20 in from touch. Need this one, North Sydney. And Taylor has delivered. So the Bears are in front. Sunday football, 18 points to 14. Coming up to the last quarter of this match. South Wales, Queensland. Origin 1 on Wednesday night from Suncorp Stadium. (18-14) it is, 23 minutes remaining. The Bears, they came into today on the back of 5 straight losses. It's been many years since they've had a run like that. Running into a Shark side -4 Origin representatives.
And there's been a big responsibility this season for Joel Wilson. He's a rugby union convert. He's come into a team that has lost Greg Florimo, Ben Eichen and Matt Sears has been out for much of the season. And he's been in the first grade side and taken on a fair degree of responsibility fairly early on in his rugby league career. Last tackle now, Jason Taylor to the right of the play the ball. Not much pressure coming through, so he kicks straight down the middle of the field.
David Peachy goes back. This one, it might pull up. This time he gets his foot dead and then taps it over the dead ball line. This time he'll come back to the 20. Ball was still in motion, but a nasty slip right at the finish almost brought Peachy's work undone. Here it is, David Peachy. Ball definitely still moving towards the dead ball line. But Peachy almost slipped back into the field of play. Or back into the in-goal area as Madison has driven back. Campbell is back out there. He's the man at dummy half. It came up for Ryan. Ryan got through the first attempted tackle. That was from Nigel Roy. Weston Campbell, a former Gold Coast player. Healy steps over the 40-metre line and gets his kick in. It sent Willie McLean on a chase back. Fields it 5 metres out from his line. And Eddinghausen, the first man there. Comes across with Petherbridge. Changes course, having headed to centre field. Stewart was the tackler. Right on the sideline, we've got ourselves a ball game. 4 points the difference.
Yeah, how important goal kicking is. And Dean Treaster's got a problem, a shoulder problem at the moment. The doctor's in there giving him a needle now, and they're going to see how he responds to it. And he wants to come back, so he's desperate.
Well, Trindle came up with a drop ball for North Sydney, and then like a whippet, Campbell was away for the Sharks, and now it's Forrester. 25 out from the Bears line. The home team, their chance to attack with Healy. Now Stanley. Richardson running at the hole. Richardson is tackled from behind by Wilson. Goes to a try saver. Graham. And then with Stewart. knows one line watching Luke Stewart, able to offload. Peachy, no one there to wrap up the ball. Peachy's calling the troops through. It's hardly a flyer who's on the end of his pass. It's Big Madison. He's 5 metres out. Peachy's just one step ahead of some of his teammates. He passes up here for Healy. On the inside it comes, and Eismunger right in front of the Bears posts. Very gloomy here at Shark Park, and they're down by 4, the home team. It comes wider there for Stanley, then up for Graham. Wilson again in defence. Some crucial tackles from Joel Wilson. Last tackle, Richardson for Healy. Ball is going to come across field. This is for the wing of Colin Best. They fly high, but Peachy's there. The magic man is there, David Peachy for the Sharks. It'll be all level again. He's got no blue jumper, but there's still hope. There's another 2 games after this Wednesday, and Peachy may yet achieve state level.
Yeah, not too far away, there might be some people in red and white jerseys who wouldn't mind David Peachy in the team. That was the mistake for Trindle. And at the end of the 6, David Peachy has flown high. I'm talking about the Sydney Swans red and white jerseys, because this is straight out of their textbook. A little bit of a juggle, kept his head, put the ball down, and a marvellous kick again from Mitch Healy. Pinpoint accurate. Just too good.
Well, I still reckon at some stage during next Wednesday night State of Origin game that a couple of the New South Wales selectors might be saying, gee, wish we'd have picked Peachy. Got another big game today, responding to the crowd. He loves it.
He was most impressive on the footy show this morning. Handled himself well. He's handled the disappointment well of missing out on state selection when so many of us had David Peachy in our teams.
And again, Andrew, we should point out, like, Robbie Ross is a fine player, but no qualms about him being called up for Origin selection. But gee, like, anyone who has watched Cronulla in the first 12 rounds this year, I just don't think they could understand how he wouldn't be in the 17.
Back with Stanley to break the deadlock. 18 points all. Blake Stanley's kick is there. The youngster has got it for the Sharks, and the home crowd is alight. 20 points to 18. 18 remaining. Sunday football alive here. 20 points to 18. The Sharks over the North Sydney Bears. The hero is with it, David Peachy. He was actually in Dubbo last night, part of the State of Origin Express promotion. And of course, Dubbo is David's hometown. They want to lynch the selectors up there. And of course, Russell Richardson also hails from Dubbo. And just while we're talking about them, Dubbo Sims, they've got a variety night coming up next Friday for a youngster, Nelson Noak, who suffered a very serious neck injury at the start of this year. And if you're in the western parts of New South Wales, Macquarie and Dubbo's the place to be next Friday night. And Graham is tackled 40 metres out. That young bloke Nelson Noak is the nephew of Billy Noak, a former Bronco and Dragons player. Nice tackle kick, getting past Brett Dallas at first attempt. He's back to his own 10-metre line. Sharks chasers are there in numbers, and Stanley is the tackler on Brett Dallas. 20 points to 18. The Sharks looking to stay 2 points clear at the top of the table. And Nigel Roy. Back to the 30, Goddard. Up for Rutchison. Rutchison cartwheels over the tackle of Campbell. He hit the mat. And then Fitzgerald bumped away from Campbell. Was able to pass in quick hands. Morrison and then Taylor. Now Buettner. 5 metres inside his own half. He's away from one. He got past Stanley. Then away from Forrester. Buettner's away from a third, and here's Taylor. 25 metres out. Back inside. It's with Wilson. Great play from the Bears. It finishes 10 metres short of the line. And the Sharks are back with it.
Oh, great play there from North Sydney. It's all come to nothing in the end. A loose ball from Wilson, but Michael Buettner, he doesn't get involved enough for mine. When he does, it's just, look out, here he comes. He set that up beautifully now. Cronulla working it out. Their own 20-metre line. He's beaten a couple, then sets up Taylor, who skips away. And then Wilson, what a good player this kid is, Wilson. And in the end, something happens. The ball goes loose. Tried to pass it and should have held on to it.
Back with it, another one of those determined hit-ups, and plenty have come from young Eismunger. This is Pearce, back on the offload to Peachy. There's some numbers here for the Sharks. Peachy taken in the tackle of Nigel Roy. Last, Healy kicks from 5 inside his halfway and will find the line, Mitch Healy. That'll just settle things down for a moment. A 30-metre gain on the kick. Paul Stringer on the sideline for the Bears in a bit of distress.
Real end-to-end stuff, isn't it? And the kind of game where just mistakes have been punished unmercifully. I think 4 tries have probably come from just blatant mistakes from one team in their own danger end. I'm sure we might see another 1 or 2 of those in the last 15 minutes here. On a knife's edge at the moment. The Bears looking to stop this downward spiral. 5 losses in a row as Petherbridge takes it centre field from the scrum win.
Housen and Peachy with the tacklers. Fitzgerald has had plenty of work off the bench for North Sydney. Just the number of players who have paid a visit to the blood bin in this match. O'Mealy's back out there with an offload for Soden. And now Taylor, a jinking run. He ducked a little too late because he collected Ryan on the way through. Soden back for Taylor. It was a good play the ball though from the Bears captain. In turn, they've made it 5 metres inside the Sharks half. Soden up to the right side. Butner kicking through and he's on the chase. Peachy is on his way back, but this one is safe. Safely over the dead ball line, that is. And Peachy all the way through had that in hand. He assessed the situation. He looked at the chasers. The ball dribbled over the dead ball line.
Yeah, Fatty and Blocker, they're both right. The more that Michael Butner touches the football in the last 15 minutes here, the more chance North Sydney are of snatching this victory.
Campbell up with Eismunger. Names in the Shark side that this time last year, even the keener Shark supporter had barely heard of. And there's a big tackle from the Bears. Rutchison, the ball's come loose but knocked back. Big tackle, O'Mealy, and Rutchison came through. Stanley comes up with Forrester. Sean Rutchison, he's wound up, 23 tackles. And the second one almost there, almost conceding the penalty as well. It's the last with the Sharks. Healy's kick, he's kicking all the time to the wing of Petherbridge. Petherbridge has got it to top speed and he's tackled. 15 short of halfway, the Bears' defensive load. Will that have some toll in this last period of play, the last 13 minutes? Soden for O'Mealy. 18 years of age. Pearce and Ryan in defence. And it comes back with Trindle. He lined them up and then straight through the attempted tackle of Forrester. His work has been strong this afternoon as well, Steve Trindle. Taylor inside. Juggled by Morrison. Batted off there for Rutchison. Crowd thought it was forward. Definitely a question mark on it. Now it's with Willie McLean. He's 30 metres out. And Healy was the tackler. 5th. Terrible play from dummy half. That'll be a changeover. But were they worthy of an extra tackle in that set of 6? Make of this pass, Fatty? No, that was fine.
That was okay.
I'm just wondering why the referee pulled up that last play. Did Nigel Roy knock on or from dummy half? I thought the pass just went back and then he did pretty well to kick the ball onto Jason Taylor.
12 remaining. And the Sharks up by 2. John Lang on the hot tin roof at this stage of the match. Right on halfway. It's almost got to the stage. Next scorer wins this one. Campbell from dummy half. And now Campbell is off, stepping away from 3 and dragged down from behind. Soden got to him. Campbell thought he was away. The bloke with a big net got him from behind, and there's Richardson. It's gone through his hands. It'll be a knock-on against the Sharks, and the Bears are back with it. Gee, there's been some errors inside the attacking zones from both teams.
No better tackle than one made by Mark Soden a couple of seconds ago on Campbell. It was a beauty. Former halfback now playing hooker. Still got plenty of speed, little Soto.
So an offload came from O'Mealy. More and more you see of the young bloke. He's a real talent. First division today. Some joy for North Sydney. A big win away from home. 40 points to 14 over the Sharks. This one's going to go down to the last minutes in first grade. And Morrison, he hits the ball up. Makes 10 offloads. Good game from Morrison. Wilson lined up by Richardson. from the Sharks line. Soden back with Taylor. Got away from Trista running through. Able to offload. Rutchison. Then Butner. He decides to run. Ryan got to him. Back on the inside. The ball has come loose again. He's regathered. And the ball has travelled forward.
Yeah, but again, did the ball travel forward after it had been thrown back? See, I can't see that as being a knock-on. He's thrown it back, and yes, it's rolled forward, but no original knock-on involved for mine.
The Sharks get the benefit of that call. Madison can't get his head into this scrum. That's his big melon sticking out. The Sharks really win it. Richardson sporting a cut above the left eye.
The one thing the Sharks have done very well in the last 5 to 10 minutes is kept North Sydney out of their 20-metre area. North have had a bit of football, but most of that has been around the middle of the field, and they haven't really been able to get down and exert a great deal of pressure close to the line. Sharks keep it alive now. Good ball from Healy, knocked on by Peachy.
Yeah, he was tackled by Nigel Roy, and Nigel Roy today has had a fantastic defensive game. He's come up with 15 tackles, all like that. They've all cut off play immediately. A great effort by him today.
Just a little over 9 minutes remaining. Crowd this afternoon, just under the 11,000 mark. We've had some very good attendances here this year. Better than that ground record, the round 8 clash we were here when they took on the Dragons, over 22,000. A little more comfortable here today as McLean is wrapped up by Madison. On halfway, it comes up for Rutchison. He's been around for a while, Sean Rutchison, but this is as good as I've seen him go today. And now Soden at dummy half. He ducks and tries to get under the tackle of Trista. They're getting to that attacking zone now. Rutchison, it comes up for Trindle. He runs straight, big Trindle. Tackled by Graham. 25 metres out. Soden to the right. Butner. There's the kick from Michael Butner. Back goes Howland. He fields it. Just maybe not the depth on the kick from Butner.
It was beautifully read by Brett Howland. He'd actually dropped back before Butner thought of kicking. He just dropped in 4 or 5 metres. He's out of shot there, but he doesn't come up with his inside men. And it was a very, very simple take because he only had to travel about 2 or 3 metres as the Sharks break.
That was Paul Miller. Previous set of 6 for the Sharks. Got away a terrific offload as he was falling. So the key for the home team, they're the ones in front, up by 2. That's on the back. They have scored 4 tries here this afternoon, 4 tries to 3, but only a 2-point margin at the moment. Graham with a dummy was fallen for by Butner. The inside men had him covered. It was Morrison in Healy's kick. He's done plenty of this in the second half. It bounces up nicely there for Horder. And back comes Wade Horder, and he slides into the 40-metre line. He was reaching home plate. And here's Wilson. Big defence over the top from Madison. Really bumped him to ground. Soden. Rutchison. Over halfway he strides. Graham the tackler. Soden trying to clear away the defenders. It was Miller. And Butner with Taylor. He shifted to second receiver. Billy Moore, quick hands. And the Bears maintained the attack. The ball came up and Taylor fielded it. A hit that had perhaps travelled forward in flight. But the Bears are still on the attack. Petherbridge for Butner. They're 30 metres out. The chip over the top. Was he taken out? It's right in front of the post if he was. Clark is going to rule a penalty. 25 metres out. Right in front. They're 2 down.
And what to do, kick for goal, is what Jason Taylor will do to level it up at 20 points apiece. He's tried different kicks all day, Butner. Definitely taken out there. And a good penalty given to the North Sydney side.
Yeah, Nick Graham had plenty of time to not attempt a tackle on Michael Butner. He can stand his ground fine, Nick Graham, but no need to put his arm out and impede the chaser. And you would expect Jason Taylor to knock this one over, but not easy conditions, despite the fact he's in front 25 out. Of course, there is added pressure just at the scoreline.
Taylor has the kick. 25 metres out. The skipper has banged it over. Again we are level. 6 minutes remaining, it's 20 all. And it's shades of a Monday night football game. We go back a few seasons between these two clubs at North Sydney Oval, Steve Roach, and it was Mitch Healy who was a hero for the Sharks on that night.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the North coaching staff. Brett Dallas has been sitting on this bench for the whole of the second half. I think they've forgotten him. They need his speed out there.
No, he's actually been out there on a couple of occasions, Block, but he hasn't stayed long, and he's put his hand up basically saying he's not right. I don't know whether he's ill.
Yeah, no, they're saying he's suffering from cramps, so obviously he keeps getting them.
No, I think you'll find it is Dallas making the decision that he's not okay.
North Sydney, Soden, it almost came out of his grasp on the 40-metre line, a dummy half. It would have been possibly a fatal error. And up they come. Billy Moore is lifting, trying to inspire his teammates. They're 45 metres out from the Sharks line. And back in field, Taylor, long-range field goal, comes well short. Bounces for Peachy. And he can be dangerous even from here. He's headed back, and Wilson has wrapped him up. Big tackle from Joel Wilson again.
He's had a super game today, Joel Wilson, for the North Sydney side. He's been in everything. He's run, he's made breaks, he's scored tries, he's come up with tackles like that against Peachy.
Campbell. Oh, they're making hard work of this. The Sharks trying to get out of the 20. Graham. High ball there for Richardson. He's got Sean Ryan on his outside. Big left winger suddenly for the Sharks. Richardson took on the defence. Graham had Forrester in support. Then found Peachy. Spiralling pass. It came through Healy and then Eddinghausen, and there's Nigel Roy again. Fatty gave him a rap a short time ago. Last tackle. They thought about kicking straight away, then it came away for Stanley. His kick is over the head of Horder. It was from inside the 40. Horder will come back for the Bears, and he'll be tackled on the 40-metre line.
And you would think that that's pretty good field position for the Bears. Good enough for them to maybe get a field goal attempt in at the end of this set of 6. That's another good charge from O'Mealy. He's highly impressive, this kid.
Taylor has shown his hand that he's not afraid to have a shot from outside the 40-metre line. Fitzgerald is driven sideways in the tackle of Eismunger. And now they work towards the post. Trindle, we're looking for Taylor. He's at first receiver on the left for the Bears.
They want to go one more left, and that'll open it up a bit for the right foot kick.
3.5 remaining. Billy Moore gets them inside the 30. Now Taylor is back. Here it comes from JT. Taylor's kick is off the side of the boot and goes dead. It's probably the worst attempt he's had in his career for a field goal.
Yeah, great chase though from Mitch Healy. 7-on-7 there.
All. Just 3 minutes remaining.
And in Cronulla we have one of the best exponents as well in Mitch Healy. He doesn't need to be much inside around the 40-metre zone to have a kick himself.
Oh, that's what the Sharks... Well, they didn't need the tackle, they needed the penalty. Richardson's okay, he's got up.
This one? Get down, yeah, okay, it's all just a penalty, get him down, all right?
But all of a sudden, another set of 6. They'll get better field position from this kick. They might only pick up around the halfway line. But that means they will be very well placed at the end of the 6 for maybe Mitch Healy's attempted match winner.
Well, how do you get a penalty for that? That's just unbelievable.
Well, Wade Horder was penalised, but the impact looked greater because of O'Mealy coming across. It really was a jolting tackle. Anyway, it's cost the Bears around 20 metres. Then the Sharks get in the zone. Second ball on the field. Wilson punts it into row L. And it comes up with Pearce. Straight to centre field he goes. 35 metres out. It's a battle of metres. It's a battle against the clock right at the moment. Big hit up that one from Stewart. He made 15 and is still going.
Yeah, and Healy shouldn't wait until the last tackle. I'd say this one and... Oh, hang on, straight up the middle. This is when Healy should be looking to put it over right now.
Wade Forrester it was. Treaster, they're going to go for the shot. Healy, steadies, 20 metres out. He's on his way. There was a North Sydney player taken out, but he's awarded a field goal. There's a Bears player on the flat of his back who would charge through.
Yeah, it was there, White, and he's still down.
Mark Soden.
And I think, well, looking at it from here, looked like one of the Cronulla players got in the way and knocked him out, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, look at it. Although I think Soden ran into him, didn't he? The referee, Stephen Clark, doesn't care. He's awarded the point.
It was Andrew Eddinghausen. There's no way that Eddinghausen changed his course to interfere with Soden. I've got no dramas with it.
No, neither have I. But we've got a knock on here, can you believe? So North Sydney will have an attacking opportunity with about 60 seconds to go. What do they do? Go for a try, or do they take an early field goal?
21 points to 20. The time clock.
Well, they'll be able to fit 3 or 4 tackles in. Just a minute and a bit.
Oh, they're going to go for it straight away.
Oh,
Taylor.
I can't believe that. Oh, what have we got a knock on here?
Colin Best.
Nah, it's gone back.
The full-time siren has sounded. Well, I don't know. That last scrum, he had blown time off. Oh, gee, there's some drama here.
Well, that's obviously the reason Jason Taylor has gone, because he realised there was only 5 or 10 seconds to go.
Well, full time, what a finish. Mitch Healy's the hero then. This was the shot of Jason Taylor, charged down. And the Sharks almost came up with a drop ball at the finish. Sharks 21, the Bears 20.